Hey guys, Sonic here from TDG and welcome back. So today, first, I haven't been on in a while. I've been pretty busy lately. And I also, for second thing, I've also just forgotten to record videos. It's been a couple weeks. Sorry, life's busy. I've been working at a fireworks stand and just a lot of things are very stressful. So, first thing off, I'm back. And I'm going to have a special video later, and I'm going to do something with my Frost Prime. So let's go into this. So this is the Tiberon Prime. It is a Master Rank 14 primary rifle that has 3 different fire modes: burst, semi, and auto. Each of which have different stats. Now let me show you. Let me just go to a build like this and take off all the mods. So the burst has a 28% crit chance, 3.0 crit multiplier, 7.38 fire rate, 42 round magazine, 2 reload, 18.4 puncture, 13.8 slash, and 13.8 impact. So it's mainly built towards puncture, so this weapon isn't going to be a viral, like a status slash weapon at all. So I'm going to take a fairly new player-friendly approach with this weapon, even though it's Master Rank 14, so yeah. So first, and the semi has 30% crit chance, 3.4% crit multiplier, same exact damage values. Auto has the same exact damage values, but 60% crit chance, 2.8 multiplier, higher fire rate, and higher status chance. Semi has lower status chance. And it has a ribbon disposition of 3 out of 5, which is actually fairly decent. So first off, we're going to want to start with mods like, let's say, Serration. Let's go into damage. So, Serration, of course, is going to be one that we're always going to want to run. And also, we could run heavy caliber, but I would not suggest it because of the accuracy loss, and it just doesn't feel very good with heavy caliber on this weapon. Then we're going to want to go into multi-shot, which of course we're going to put split chamber, and since this is not, we're not using the riven yet, we're going to want to put vigilante armaments right there. Oh, just need to switch these up a little bit. Yeah, and then we're gonna, I just forgetting my builds. Okay, then we're gonna want to put some crit mods. Now, the forma for this weapon, I only suggest you put one forma, which is just to put any mod that you would like on this weapon. Just put the crit mods there, and then we're going to want to go into the weapon's really already high status chance with putting corrosive, which is ridiculous against heavy gunners, infected clip. And then we're going to want to run one dual stat mod, which I suggest you run like Stormbringer and because if you don't have high voltage, this build isn't really going to work for you. And then yeah, run that, and then finally, I mean, you could run heavy caliber. I don't suggest it. I'm going to show you the kind of accuracy loss. So let's take this down here. This is it with heavy caliber. As you can see, the bullets are just, I mean, they're fairly in the same spot, but the multi-shot kind of makes it fire. But with auto, you're not going to be hitting really high shots from far accuracy. This is going to be the build that I recommend, but if you can't deal with the accuracy loss from heavy caliber, then you're going to want to run something else. Like, this is an option slot. You can run whatever you want. If you want to run another status mod, you can do that. If you want to run some fire rate, but I'm going to suggest using that one mod, heavy caliber, just because it adds some decent damage. This is the build I'm going to be recommending. Let me go back through it. This is all the mods. And then we're going to talk about a viral hunter munitions build. So summon these enemies. And first row we're going to be using burst, and second we're going to be using semi. Oh, tax on shooting them with ice. Let me take that off real quick. Or carrier. Let me take off carrier real quick, or Artax. There's no sentinel weapons, so we should be fairly good to go. I don't have any arcanes affecting damage or anything. So, take it shot by shot and then rapid fire. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Takes about an entire magazine to kill one of these enemies, which is not exactly ideal. I mean, this weapon really shines with this riven disposition, but I mean, it's fairly good. Now, I've killed 2 enemies, takes about a magazine. With semi, it just takes a little bit more. Semi is just... I don't really run this, I just run this to save ammo. But yeah, it's fairly more ammo efficient with semi, and with full auto, it's just not exactly the greatest. As you can see, I don't have very good aim. This weapon has very bad accuracy with heavy caliber. So yeah, this is the build I'm recommending. It has fairly decent, I mean, these are level 130 corrupted heavy gunners. I mean, they've got really high health. Let's say I bump down their level to back to 100, and you'll see that like these enemies die a whole lot quicker. These are the kind of enemies that you will never see in like, unless you're doing endurance runs, like not even in 43. This is about like the highest level you'll see. And like this is just like everything that you could ever want. High damage, high status. I've almost killed like 3 enemies in 2 magazines. This is just level 100 enemies. This is the highest level you're gonna see. But 130 makes their health pretty much unbearable to take up. Now let's talk about viral munitions builds. So first let's take off high voltage and put on rhyme rounds for the higher status. Take off heavy caliber, put in hunter munitions. And this will be the build I am recommending for viral munitions. Now, your slash isn't going to be the highest. It's the second. It's tied with impact below puncture, which means it's not going to be priority number 1. You could build into that, but I would not suggest it. We're going to be testing this against level 100, and we're going to be using burst, because that's the one I suggest you use. Just get him down to about half health. And watch the bleeds do the work. Look at that damage. This is probably the build I'm going to be recommending. It is, like, if you're doing endurance runs, you're going to want to run this build. Because it's like, it just basically ignores armor. You're going to be getting those slash statuses, and you're going to be getting the slashes from hunter munitions. So, it's actually a fairly good weapon. This is for a master rank 14 weapon. I mean, that's a pretty high master rank, but Tigress Prime, like if I just compare this thing to Tigress Prime, you see that Tigress Prime is just, look at that damage difference. But where this weapon really shines is its 3 riven disposition. So I will go in to the riven build. Now, as you can see, I removed heavy caliber in this build with my riven. So, okay, so I'm running all the same mods, but my riven is Tiberon Critatus. 223.3% crit chance, 148.3% crit damage, and minus status chance, which that minus status chance is very annoying, but it's tolerable with this weapon. I mean, like 46.8% status chance is so good. What I would probably want to do is add one more forma to switch that out for a dual stat mod. But for now, I think this weapon is good enough. Let's say I took off this mod, and I also took off this mod, and I put on Malignant Force. It would have 65% status, which is more than we're ever going to need on this weapon. Now, excuse me, let me put my mods back in, wherever they could be. Oh, I'm looking for the wrong mods. Now, let's put that back on. And let's show you the performance of 11.1 times crit damage. Shall we? Now this is still level 100. I'm going to pump them up to level 130 in a second, but like just Look at that. This is the difference a riven mod can make. It can turn this weapon into a extremely endgame murderer. I mean, like, I'm gonna take this into semi mode to show you how powerful this weapon is. Just look at that damage. The damage earlier was somewhat subpar, but now, this is a contender for weapons like, this is basically a contender for weapons like Tigress Prime. I mean, it's nowhere near as good as Tigress Prime, but look at that those beautiful orange crits, and the occasionally Vigilante Armaments is going to proc, giving it red crits. And the final thing we're going to do is pump everything up with some beautiful Warframe buffs. Now, with Mirage, I don't really have the best build, but yeah, Eclipse. This is my Eclipse build. I'm only switching Power Drift for Augur Secrets, and switching Power Drift for Vitality. Nope, can't do that, never mind. Now, I don't really have any good arcanes for this, but 262% power strength is pretty darn good. Now, this weapon is capable of the now you see me, now you don't kind of trick. Activate her abilities. One shot. One shot. One shot. One shot. Two shot. Two shot to one shot for level 100 enemies. This is pretty good performance, but last thing we're going to do is pump their level up to level 130 to show you just how good this weapon is. Try out with Burst. With Warframe buffs. Still. Now two shots. But still, just look at this damage. This is like with Warframe buffs, this is like better than normal Tigress Prime. I mean, that is with Warframe buffs, and Tigress Prime with Warframe buffs. So, I mean, just look at this damage. Like, I used like 1.5 magazines, and I murdered all those enemies. So, yeah. That is this weapon. The Tiberon Pro. This has been me reviewing the Tiberon Prime. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed. Please click the like and subscribe button if you would, and watch more of my videos. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Sayonara.